Now for our feature story of the day, let's discuss the latest from Mike Novogratz. The billionaire says great setup coming for Bitcoin and precious metals as potential rate cuts loom. In fact, he goes as far to predict Bitcoin reaching $400,000 per coin. Let's go. Here's the latest from Novogratz family. The founder and CEO of Galaxy Digital believes looming rate cuts by the Fed are bullish for Bitcoin and precious metals. That's right. Novogratz tells his 500,000 followers on X that the rate cuts may be bad for the U.S. economy, but good for Bitcoin. He suggests rate cuts will increase liquidity, boosting Bitcoin, and that more investors will view the king crypto as a safe store of value in uncertain economic times. Quoting him here, call me crazy, but I don't see one good reason for the Fed to cut the rates, yet think they will. It is a great setup for Bitcoin, gold, silver, and copper. It is not a great setup for the USA, though. We need a politician who will cut spending dramatically. Sound of silence from DC. Now, in the interview with analyst Scott Melker, Novogratz says the Bitcoin may soar beyond his base case of 100,000 this year in 2024 as the US's mounting debt threatens to debase the US dollar. Quoting him again, what worries me, quite frankly, is that we do get into the runaway train in crypto. There is a scenario where you can see crypto become a runaway train. It is just a self-fulfilling and it eats itself. You are not at 100,000, but you're at 300,000 or $400,000. It is not my base case, but I can make that scenario up. So he's ultimately saying his base case is 100,000, but he will not be surprised if Bitcoin just is like a runaway train to 300, 400,000 per coin. He can see it. Now continuing, that's not good for society. Society doesn't like all these new people. That's right. And the elite don't either, just FYI. But anyways, how did that guy get so rich and I am not? It is what creates revolutions. It creates wars. It creates a breakdown in civil society. We can have wealth transfers at a moderate pace, but when they happen at rapid paces, it really is often not good. I think Bitcoin can go up just because of adoption, but to see it explode, usually it will be because we are losing control of our debt. So he's ultimately saying the debt is out of control, in which it is. We have roughly 35 trillion in unprecedented debt, and that debt's only likely to continue, and they're going to have to continue to print. So as a result, he's saying things are going to get out of control, and he can see that runaway train, a Bitcoin hitting 400,000 per coin. 3 to 4x his base case of 100,000. And to watch the interview he actually did, check the show notes below the video in the description. Now let me know your thoughts. Do you feel we can have that runaway train for this cycle, potentially even here in 2024? Can you see a $400,000 Bitcoin price? Holla at your boy and let me know. My personal prediction is my bear scenario is 222,000. So I'm virtually 2x his base case for my base case. And my bull case is 750,000 per coin. I firmly believe the Bitcoin has no top because fiat has no bottom. They're guaranteed to continue to print the money. And as the money printer continue to go, Bitcoin is just going to continue to skyrocket to the moon, hitting unprecedented levels, just like we've witnessed every cycle that come before us. But what is particularly different this cycle? Institutional FOMO like a mofo, right? We're talking the 3 ETFs that launched 3 months ago, already over 800,000 Bitcoins worth of volume, right? BlackRock now has over 250,000 BTC, more than MicroStrategy, controlling more than 1% of the supply. So between MicroStrategy and BlackRock, that's 2% of the circulating Bitcoin supply, right? You also have unprecedented demand, which never existed previous cycles. We have a very limited amount of Bitcoin. Now we have ETFs about to launch out of Hong Kong, Australia, El Salvador, other countries around the world. We already have unprecedented demand. We're going to have a supply shock. We have a presidential election. We have a Bitcoin halving. The halving rewards about to get slashed in half in 1 week. There's just so many bullish catalysts. It's not even funny, right? Previous cycle, 2021, November 10th, we hit the all-time high of 69,000, driven purely off of retail, zero institutional FOMO. The big money comes from the institutions. They have all the money in the world, right? BlackRock is worth 10 trillion. Fidelity is worth 4.5 trillion. What's the one that bashes Bitcoin, but they have indirect exposure through MicroStrategy as a primary shareholder? What's the name of that company where the CEO is stepping down and they bash Bitcoin? For some reason, I can't think of the name. But you already know, family. We already know what it is. We also have nation state adoption. We have countries secretly buying up Bitcoin. We have sovereign wealth fund adoption. You got the largest oil company in the world partnered with the largest Bank of Japan, getting into digital assets. What's the #1 digital asset in the world? Bitcoin. So you guys already know it's about to be runaway train, never come back. Remember that track back in the day? On a one-way track. Vanguard, thank you. Vanguard haters, the CEO is stepping down, so good for him. Enemy of Bitcoin deserves to step down. But yeah, the primary shareholder of MicroStrategy is Vanguard, the same corrupt organization bashing Bitcoin, but they are the second largest, right, asset manager in the world, next to BlackRock. BlackRock 10 trillion, Vanguard, I don't know the exact number, I'm going to speculate 8 trillion. And then we got Fidelity 4.5 trillion and all these other asset managers that come under them. So there's big money out here, family. Bitcoin Vanguard. Pretty much, McFootnator. Pretty much. Yes, I remember, JB, I called BlackRock. Now I call a 15x from here. Over 1 million runway. Let's go. 1 million, baby. You already know it's happening. The only question is, will it happen this year? Will it happen next year? Could it be this cycle? Will it be next cycle? But I'd be very, what's the word I'm looking for? I would not believe Bitcoin hitting 1 million proceeding after the 2028 halving cycle. Like, I firmly believe we're going to hit 1 million either. Like, I'm not leaning on this cycle. I'm leaning towards next cycle, but I'm open to the possibility it can happen this cycle. But I definitely think by the time of the 2028 cycle, it's a given. Like, we'll be well beyond 7 figures by that time. That's my personal prediction by 2028, potentially 2029, right? I think it happens. This cycle, multiple 6 figures, then let's hypothetically just say we were 250,000 Bitcoin. Let's be on the more conservative side. Then all we got to do the next halving in 2028 is another 4x. And then we're at $1 million per coin. But what if, hypothetically, we did more the bull scenario this cycle and we hit $500,000 per coin by 2025? Then all we need is a modest 2x from the 2028 cycle to hit $1 million. You're starting to understand how easy and feasible this truly becomes. And some of you guys are still questioning, but will Bitcoin ever hit $80,000? Serious? Like, serious. Just saying. But anyways, fam, let me know where you feel the Bitcoin price action is likely to freaking go next. I'm looking forward to reading your comments out loud. Let's get it.